Greetings. Welcome back to this podcast, a message to no one. I don't have a topic for this episode, but what if we go with a flow? What is a flow anyway? Life flows, people speak about life just being a flow, just a flow of energy, So when you look at it from that perspective, then you'd see this formless, boundless energy, that freedom, because it's free to flow at any direction, it's free to be anything. That formless, it's free to be any form because it's formless. It's free to be transferred to any form of energy, So why not speak about the flow of life? And whether it's flowing or not flowing, who's to know? Because this is all life, This is all life, and everything is this. If everything is this, then even this crazy talk that happens now and then in this podcast, it also this, it also life, it also a flow of life, it also allowed here, it also part of this. When I say part of this, I can almost see what that could mean, because when I said part, when something is part of something, then we are speaking about two things. So there is like two parts that can combine into one, whereas there is only life, So there is only life. Nothing is part of anything, Nothing is part of anything, because everything is just life. Everything is just life, flowing as that. It flows. It can flow as this crazy talk, but it can also flow as listening to this crazy talk. And now when you see that, you could see that listening and speaking are actually one. It's just one thing doing that. Nobody's actually doing that. And so this is life flowing as anything. This is the total freedom. So now the question may arise, what about the freedom that is sought by each individual out there trying to find freedom? It actually freedom, seeking freedom. It's like a total madness, It's trying to find itself. So this is just the flow of life. So what if we flow on this? What if we talk about everything and nothing? What if we talk about everything that is happening now? And also note that since we are talking about the happening, we are also talking about the not happening, because what is happening is also not happening, This is all a dream. Sometimes I feel like going into a fully packed place, like a mall during the day, when people are busy shopping, in the weekend. And then I just shout on top of my lungs, what if this is a dream? Because what if this is a dream? For sure, we would never find out whether it's a dream or not, because we are already We are already a dream. We are already dream characters, moving and going around. Everything is a dream. If everything is a dream, then then we can't even know who the dreamer is. That's the craziest thing. We can't even know who the dreamer is. This is just a dream. So the seeming finding the truth, it also a dream about that. So there's a dream about science, dream about philosophy, a dream about spirituality, a dream. So the seeking of something is a dream, and the finding of something is a dream. What if everything was a dream? What if you were a dream character? You know, the worst thing about this, it's because even this talk has nothing to do with waking up. I'm using the dream language. This is the language that we use in the dream, you know. And all the expression, all the words that are used in this podcast, it's a dream. A podcast dream. A listening dream. And somebody may think they are awakening. There is also a dream about awakening. Somebody may think they know God. There is also a dream about God. Everything is a dream here. Everything is a dream. And there's no chance of knowing whether it's a dream or not. That's the craziest part, you know. And there's no chance of knowing the dreamer, you know. So we see glimpses of this when there's a night's dream and waking up. Okay, so immediately when there is waking up happening, the dream dissolves. So there is no meetup between the dreamer and the dream, or the dreamer and the dream character. But the dream character may be in a dream where they meet the dreamer. They meet what seems to be a dreamer. They speak, they converse with it. They ask for things, and those things are granted, you know. It all happening in the dream. It is all a dream. But this is an exercise of imagination. What if this was all a dream? It's just a question, you know, just to ponder. What is to ponder if it's not part of the dream? It's also part of the dream. Every senses, every sensations, every word, every thought. This is a dream. It's like imagination, you know. So one moment you are here, and the next you are in New York with other people and sharing beautiful memories, until somebody says, "Did you hear what I said?" Then you come back from imagination. What if everything was imagination? But of course there is no way of finding out. Everything is trapped in this imagination box. Every boundary is here, it's just of imagination. And imagination is so free that it can flow at any direction. This is the flow of life, you know. This is the flow of life. And I like this episode because this is actually how these things are recorded. You might be wondering, like, what's going on here? Why is this guy? Because there might be some stutter in the middle, or there are dogs barking, or there are chickens sometimes. But we still record anyway, I don't know, maybe all these things need to be heard, and what's the difference between dogs barking and this talk or any talk, Because really, this is just life being anything, and life can be an animal. It can be a funny noise. It can be a noise that seems to be much more pleasurable or much more interpretive, something that you can understand. But what is understanding? Understanding is also, is it anything other than life? It also an expression of life. Everything is this. Everything is this. This is so free that it can be anything. It can be a tree. It can be a mountain. It can be the whole ocean. It can be anything. It can be you. And this is not the you that you must find out. This is not the you that you must find out, and once you find it out, then you'll be more powerful. Powerful to what? If you are only thing that exists here. You are the only thing that exists and doesn't exist at the same time. Therefore, it's not comparable to anything. It's just it. The struggles are also it. The activities of life are also it. Each individual is this. So how does it help that now you know? It doesn't. And maybe let me tell you a bit of a story. I was in a dilemma, so like this became apparent, like it just became apparent. And so there were also like a couple of videos I watched on YouTube. You might have watched Tony Peterson. There's also like couple of people that are also speaking about this, and like there's Emerson is also very good. There's also Julie. There are a whole lot of people on YouTube speaking about this. So I was just browsing on YouTube as usual, and then I stumbled to this, and it's resonated, even though I don't even know what a resonance is, but you know what I'm speaking about. That thing that I cannot even describe. It's like if you are still listening to this in 14 minutes, because now I'm approaching 15 minutes recording this, then there's something there that you and I can never get to know. Why are you listening to this? Why does it make sense not making sense, because I know exactly what I'm speaking about. This thing is not making sense. It doesn't appeal to anyone, you know. Yeah, so there was that. So initially when it made sense, so I was hoping that it could be applied to my personal problems. So when this problem I had, I wanted so much to apply this. I wanted this to liberate me from that. And then I saw the uselessness of this. It's so useless because it doesn't help with anything. It doesn't help with anything. The only difference is that now everything that is seemingly happening, it's not happening to an individual. There is no ownership of things. There has never been, actually. Nobody has ever owned anything. Own sadness, own happiness. Own struggles, challenges, and nobody has ever owned anything. But that doesn't mean that sadness will never arise. Sadness will arise to nobody. To nobody. And happiness will arise to nobody as well. Just arises as this meaningless episode of a podcast, starting as just speaking about the flow. So in the middle of this, I was explaining that. So this, like you can even notice the intervals as to which I record this. It might be, I might go weeks without recording anything. Sometimes I would record maybe each day, like consecutive days, 2 or 3 consecutive days. Then after that, I might take weeks without recording anything, and that's the flow I'm speaking about. And I can't even write this thing down to say, okay, this is let me plan this. This is what I'm going to be speaking about. This is why it's sometimes I'm all over the place. It's not coherent. What is being coherent even? I can't even plan this. I can't plan life. I can't plan anything in life. Like for me life, like I've tried so hard to control this, and it keeps on appearing and disappearing. I try to hold it together. I can't hold it together. Like, who am I even? I don't even know who I am. That was the latest episode that I recorded about the identity crisis. But this one is a flow. It's just a flow, and this is exactly how this flow happens and not happening. And so sometimes it's something that it's like patterns that are easier to follow, you know. It's like manifesting, for instance. So So you want to manifest money, and these are clear patterns that are out there that you can follow, and then you follow some technique, and something happens, or it's not happening, but it doesn't matter. When it happens, you celebrate, Yeah, so it's like patterns like that. Suddenly you try everything that you have ever done, and it's not happening. That's the flow. It doesn't follow any patterns. It's not a pattern, but it may appear as a pattern. That pattern is also this, and not being a pattern is also this. This is, somebody said that it's a mind fax. I don't even know what that means. But and I can only imagine how and what is going on into the mind of somebody listening to this. I can only imagine, because this is just a rambling and just a rambling of a nobody. Just a rambling of a nobody. So I don't know. I can't know for sure, but I might write a book titled A Driverless Taxi. It seems intriguing, for me to write up on that topic or on that subject, yeah, it seems so intriguing. A driverless taxi, but I can't know for sure whether that book will be written or not. But yeah, I'll see. This is a flow. It's a flow of life, and it's not my life. I don't own a life. It's a flow of life, and it can be anything. It can be anything, with or without me, with or without the I. It can be anything. It can be anything, and for sure it can be like, it can appear as a prediction sometimes. It can appear as a predictable trajectory, following something, but that's still this, I think these labels that we use, sometimes they blind this. They are the ones that obscures what is already obvious. What is already obvious, that this is it. Everything is this. That is already obvious. But this could be a label, like a me. It can be any label, like a struggle for me. It can be an emotion. It can be a thought. It can be a business. It can be anything. And now, because it has been given a label, sometimes one will be clinging into that label, like I was saying, that it can be a predictable pattern, but that predictable pattern is still this. So now, if you hang on to that predictable pattern, such that you are trying to foresee other patterns using that, then now it has become something else, because now we are just looking for something that is not even there. It was never that in the first place. It was just a label. A label is not it. and I can't make that statement any clear, and it seems like a contradiction, a direct contradiction of what I'm saying. and like I can't stop seeing contradictions flying everywhere. Contradictions flying everywhere, and the contradictions sometimes are made from the trying so hard to predict what's next. The labels do not overlap. So this is just a flow of life, just flowing to any direction. So it can't be pointed at by what, because everything is this. So that is why nobody can teach anyone anything. Nobody can teach this to anyone, because this is already this. So anyone who teach, who is the one who teach, is also this. Who are they teaching? They are teaching this. So you see the dilemma that we have here. It's just so it can't be known, it can't be understood. So, but at the same time, I'm saying that it's so obvious, it's so clear, that even clarity is not as clear as this. It's so clear, it's so immediate. It's immediately this. And what is also apparent and so obvious, it's the unconditionality of this, the uncompromising nature of this. This is unconditionally anything. It's unconditionally anything. It's unconditionally you. It's unconditionally anything. I can't even make an example. Anything that you can think of, it's unconditionally that. It couldn't be anything. It couldn't be anything else. There were no conditions which could stop it from being that. So when we speak about unconditional love, this is unconditional love. But unconditional love can be a hate as well. It also this. It's unconditionally this. It's unconditionally flowing to any direction as anything. It's flowing as anything. This is the flow. This is the flow of life. it's flowing as you, and anything that you have ever done, it has always been the flow. Any experience that you have ever had, it always been the flow of life. It always been the formless, the unknown. Nobody knows. Nobody knows anything, because this is the flow. It can be anything. It can be anything. It can be this episode that I was wondering how long it's going to be, and now because I thought I wouldn't pass 10 minutes if I don't even have a title. I just want to flow with this. I thought I wouldn't even pass 10 minutes. So now I see that I'm in 30s, and most of my episode are around 30 minutes. So I'm thinking that I need to stop myself, Maybe I'm flowing too much with this. Maybe I'm flowing too much with this. So if you happen to get to this point of the podcast, can you kindly comment? Like if you see any comment section, just comment. I just want to see your comment. Just say anything, like anything that you can say. I just want to see your comment. But we still maintain it's a message to no one. So you are not even here to listen to this. It's a shame. It's just the flow of this.